Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today video is going to be slightly different from my other video because we are going to learn how we can create React application from scratch using Webpack and Babel. So we are not going to use npm create react app command to create our React application, and we are also not going to build any complex application in today's video. We are just going to build very basic React application with the help of Webpack and Babel. So let's see the agenda of today's video. So we will be creating a basic React application absolutely from scratch. We will be using Webpack to configure our React application. We are going to use Babel to transpile or transform our React code into JavaScript. So we will be using Babel loader in our Webpack configuration, and we are also going to configure Babel RC file in our project. Then after that we will also going to use custom Express server to serve our React application. We are also going to see how we can add CSS and image file to React application with the help of Webpack configuration. So we are going to configure loader and plugin inside our Webpack configuration file, and at the end we are also going to see how we can implement hot module replacement in our React application, which is responsible for refreshing browser whenever we do some code changes in our React application. So this all thing we are going to learn in today's video, and I hope you will able to learn some important concept related to Webpack and Babel in today's video. So before we start learning all this concept, if you haven't subscribed my channel, then please do subscribe and like and share my video with your friend and colleague if you find out my video is really helpful. So let's start working on our React application with Webpack and Babel. So guys, let's create a React application from scratch. So I am in this directory and I'm going to create one empty folder to create a React application from scratch. So the folder name I'm going to give here like React Webpack Babel. Okay, and I'm going to open this project in my Visual Studio Code. So guys, you can see that I have opened this empty folder in my VS Code. So at the moment we don't have any file inside this folder. So let's go into this directory first, and I'm going into this folder and I'm going to open a command prompt. So first I'm going to create a package.json file. So let's do here npm init, and it's going to ask some question. So let's hit enter here. Let's hit enter. Let's give description like React Webpack Babel, and entry point will be same. Okay, let's hit enter. Enter. Let's give author code with Vishal. So now let's go into the VS Code. So you can see that here we got our package.json file. Okay, now after that what we have to do, so we are going to install some packages in this project first. So first I'm going to clear out this console, and we need to install some packages here. So npm install dash save. We need React to create a component. We need React DOM to place our component in our HTML file, and we need Express to create a server. So let's install these packages first. So these three packages got installed, so you can see that over here. Now we have to also install some package, and that will be as a dev dependency. So I'm going to install the package here like npm install save dev, and the package will be Webpack and Webpack CLI. Okay, so these two packages first we have to install as a dev dependency. So you can see that these two packages also got installed. So let's verify here. So you can see that it's got installed over here. Now what I'm going to do first, so first I'm going to set up our server here. So I'm going to create one file here, server.js. So we are going to create a server using Expressjs. So let's bring here Expressjs. So const express require, and it will be express. Now we need a variable here, const app express. Now we have to also bring here path as well. So we need to bring this path from the path. Okay. After that, I am going to specify a port here. So on which port our server is going to run. So process.dnb.port or 3000. Okay. Now I am going to configure here a static server. So static server I'm going to configure. So app.use express.static, and here I'm going to do like path.join, and here I'm going to use this directory name. So that means we are pointing to our root directory, and here we have to specify the folder name. So the folder name will be the dist here, where our image and CSS file will contain on this dist folder. After that, we have to also define a route. So app.get and request response, and response.send file, and here again we have to do the same thing, path.join, and we have to specify the directory, and here we have to specify our HTML file. So our HTML file will be present on this location. So whenever our server run on this 3000, so it's going to render this route initially, and we are sending this HTML file as a response to our browser. Now you will notice that we don't have any dist folder. So I'm going to create a dist folder here inside my root directory. So let's create this dist folder. After that, we have to listen our server. So app.listen, and here we can just pass port, and after that we can have simple console log. So you can give your console log like this way, console.log. So here we can use template string. So server is running on, so here we can specify our port. Okay, so let's save this file, and in package.json we have to change this one. So this will become server.js. Okay, so let's save this package.json file. After this, I wanted to configure our Webpack. So I'm going to create a file here in the root folder only. So webpack.config.js. Okay. And here I'm going to bring again path. So const path equal to require, and we need to bring path. After this, we have to do like this way, modules.exports, and inside this object we are going to place our all Webpack configuration. So first we are going to have a entry object. Okay, and inside that we are going to have app. So app nothing but it is our React file. So in every React project we have a root file, so we have to specify that root file. So our root file will be on this path, so under source, and we are going to have test.jsx. So this file will basically contain a JSX, and it is going to transform, or it will get converted into JavaScript. So we have to specify this entry point. Now you can see that I don't have any folder and file, so I'm going to create one source folder here, and inside that I'm going to have the React file test.jsx, and I'm going to have a very basic component here. Okay, and let's give here hello React, and let's make it tabs. Okay, and we also need a React DOM, because we are going to place our React component inside the HTML, so we need this React DOM. And here we can remove this one. So this is our main component actually, because we are not creating any big application. So this will be only React file is going into this project. So React DOM dot render, and we can render this component, and we are going to render this component in our HTML. So document dot get element by id, and we are going to specify here root. So inside this root we are going to place our React component, and let's save this file as well. And here I just wanted to do some small modification, so let's use here fragment and put this hello React inside this fragment, and I'm going to use here h2 tag. Okay, so let's save this one. After that I'm going to add one more entry here, so that will be output. And inside this output object we are basically configuring the location of JavaScript file. So whenever our Webpack run, so it will take this React code and it's going to convert into a JavaScript. So we have to specify here file name and the path. So file name I can give here like name dot bundle dot js, and we have to specify path here. So path dot resolve, and here we have to specify our root directory, that will be dist folder. So inside this dist folder our converted JavaScript code will be there. So whenever a Webpack is going to run, so it's going to take this JavaScript code and it's going to convert or transpile into a JavaScript code, and that JavaScript file is going to place inside this dist folder. Okay, I hope you get this point. Let's save this file first. After that I'm going to configure Babel as well. So to configure Babel in the Webpack, we need to install some packages related to Babel. So first I'm going to clear this terminal, and we need to install all the packages related to Babel as a dev dependency only. And the first package we need to install, that is Babel CLI. Then we need to install Babel core. Then we need to install Babel polyfill. Then we need to install Babel preset env. Then we need to install Babel preset react, and then we have to install Babel loader. So let's install all this dependency. So you can see that our package is getting installed. So let's wait for the package installation, and you can see that our package got installed. And let's verify here in our package.json. So all these packages got installed. Now let's go to this Webpack configuration file, and here I'm going to add one more entry, module, and inside this I'm going to have some set of rules. Okay, so here I'm going to have rules which will be a array, and inside that I'm going to have my first rule, so test, and I'm going to write here regular expression. So basically we are telling to Webpack here, like if you have found any file with JS or with JSX extension. So let me first write this expression here. So let's use here dollar, and I'm going to use here Babel loader. So Babel loader, and I also wanted to exclude the node modules. Okay, so let's exclude this one, node modules. So here what is happening, so browser doesn't understand JSX. So first we are basically converting or transpiling our React code to JavaScript with the help of Babel loader, and we are telling to Webpack like look for this file which contains the extension either .js or .jsx. So if you find any file, then you have to basically transpile into JavaScript with the help of Babel loader. And here I have excluded the node module folder, so don't look for this node module folder. Okay, so this is the overall meaning of this whole object. So we write our React code either in .js extension or .jsx extension. So here I have used .jsx extension, so it doesn't matter, you can also write a React code in .js file. So here I'm just telling to Webpack, if you find any file with .js or JSX extension, then simply you have to convert into JavaScript. So it's going to convert into JavaScript with the help of Babel loader, and I am excluding the node module folder. So this is what saying this whole object. So here overall we are converting our JSX React code into a JavaScript code with the help of Babel loader, so that browser can understand easily. So this is the reason we are using here Babel loader. So I hope you have understood this one. Now after this I am going to run my Webpack here first. So let's clear this terminal, and we can run the Webpack with this command npx webpack. So now you can see that we got some error in our terminal. So here what is happening, like our Webpack doesn't understand this React code, and to fix this problem we have to create one file here in root folder, that is Babel rc, and here I'm going to have object. Let's define here preset, and here I'm going to have preset like Babel preset env, and another one will be the Babel preset react. So it will be in double quotes, preset react. Let's save this file. Let's open terminal. Let's remove this one first. Npx webpack. Now here also we have to specify our mode. So you can see that we are getting warning in our Webpack configuration. So let's here define a mode as well. So mode, let's give here production. Let's save these changes and let's clear this terminal. Let's run our Webpack again. Now you can see that we don't have any issue in our terminal. So here what happened, Babel translate our React code into JavaScript. So we can verify this one in our VS Code. So in dist folder we have our app.bundle.js file which contains the JavaScript code. So Babel take this React code and convert it into a JavaScript code. So this is what happened when I run the Webpack using the command npx webpack. After that I am going to start my server. So node server.js, and you can see that we got the message like server is running on 3000. So let's go into the browser, and before I go into the browser, so you can see that this app.bundle.js is present inside this dist folder. So we have to access this one in our browser. So let's go into the browser, and here let's type localhost app.bundle.js. So now you can see that we got this JavaScript code. Okay, so now you can see that we got our React code which got converted to JavaScript with the help of Babel loader, and this JavaScript code is also minified over here. Okay, now after this what I'm going to do, so I'm going to create one HTML file here. So I'm going to create HTML file because we need to attach our JavaScript code to HTML file. So that's the reason I'm creating here HTML file. And in order to handle HTML file with Webpack, we have to install one dependency here. So let's go to terminal, and I'm going to kill server here, and I'm going to install a dependency here and to install just as safe, and it will be dev dependency only, and the package will be HTML Webpack. So we are installing a plugin here, that is HTML Webpack plugin. So this will basically help us to attach our JavaScript code to HTML so that HTML can be sent to browser as a response. So let's wait for the package installation. So our package got installed. Let's verify here in our package.json file. So it's got installed over here. Now we need to go to this Webpack configuration file first. So here I need to bring that HTML Webpack plugin. So const HTML Webpack plugin, and we can bring it like this way. Okay, and here we have to define one more entry for plugin. So it will be plugins, and it will be an array, and inside that I am going to have an instance of this HTML plugin, HTML Webpack plugin. Now inside that I'm going to have a object, and we have to give a template, and here we have to specify the path of HTML file that we have already created inside this source folder. So source index.html file, and here we have to specify the file name. So file name, and it will be the index.html. So this index.html, basically whenever the webpack run, so in this HTML we are going to attach our JavaScript code, and then this index.html is going to send back to browser as a response. So this path of file will get converted into this index.html. And if you are getting confused, we have the same file name. So let's rename here. If you are getting confused over here, so let's give here test.html, and we can specify here test.html. So once the webpack run, so this HTML file contain our JavaScript code. Then after running, the webpack is going to convert this file into index.html file, and this HTML file send back to browser as a response. And this file you are going to found inside this dist folder. Okay, now let's format this one first. Now after this, let's go to this test.html file, and I'm going to generate some HTML snippet over here. So that will be doc, and we can just hit tab. So it's going to generate some HTML snippet, and here we are going to have one div, and we have to specify the ID here, root. So inside this div element which contain ID root, our React component is going to render inside this div. So as you can see that in test.jsx file, we have specified the element here, root. So our React component is going to display inside this element in our browser. So next thing what we can do, so let's open this one and let's run again npx webpack. Now we don't have any issue. So let's verify here in our dist folder. So now here you can see that in our dist folder, this test.html file got converted into index.html file with this webpack configuration that we have right over here. Okay, now I am going to run my server again, node server.js. So server is running on 3000. Let's go into the browser. So I am going to remove this one. Now you can see that we are able to render our React component in browser. So let's go to the VS Code. So this is the heading that we have mentioned in our test.jsx file, which is render in our browser. So here let's give the title different title. So I'm going to give a title like creating React app using Webpack and Babel, and let's give this title in center. So text align will be center. And in this test.html file, let's give here title like React app. Now let's open this terminal. Let's kill the server. Let's run our webpack first. Now I'm going to restart our server again. Now let's go into the browser. Let's refresh this one. So now you can see that we are getting our updated heading in our browser. Now we can also view our page source. So you can see that here we have successfully able to attach our JavaScript code to this HTML. Okay, so you can see that this app.bundle.js is attached to this HTML code. So this is done. So now next thing what I'm going to do, so I'm going to style this heading in this project. So I'm going to introduce a CSS file as well in this basic React application. So let's head over to VS Code first. So in order to work with the CSS with Webpack in React, we need to install some loader. So I'm going to open my command prompt and let's kill the server. And the package is going to install or loader related to CSS. So it will be style loader and CSS loader. Okay. So these two packages we have to install related to our CSS file. So let's install these packages first. So as you can see that our package got installed. Now we can verify this one in our package.json file. So you can see that CSS loader and style loader got installed as a dev dependency. Now let's head over to Webpack configuration file. And here I have to add one more new role. Okay, so let's use here test, and I'm going to define a regular expression over here, and inside that it will be CSS, and I'm going to use my loader here, that is CSS loader and style loader. And again I'm going to exclude my node module as well. So let's just copy this one. Let's just format this one. So what it does, this loader, so whenever we run our webpack, so it's going to look for the CSS file if we have in our project. So if you have any CSS file with this extension .css, so it's gonna extract the style from CSS file and it's going to paste inside our HTML file. So that's the reason we have to use a loader in order to extract the CSS style. Now let's save this one, and here I am going to create one file, so test.css, and I'm going to give some style. So I'm going to give a style here, color. So color will be blue. Let's give here blue. Let's give here some font family. So let's give this one. Let's give font size some 17 pixel. Let's give font weight 600. So let's save this one, and we need to bring this CSS file in our React component. So we can bring this one like this way, test.css. Now let's open our command prompt, and again I'm going to run first npx webpack. So we are getting some error. So module build failed. Okay, let me see what is the issue. So guys, we are getting the error because we have to place this css loader in the second index. Okay, that is first index. So we have to place css loader here. Now let's save this file, and let's do again npx webpack. Now this time you can see that we are not facing any kind of issue. So I'm going to run my server. So node server.js. So server is running on 3000. Let's go into the browser. I'm going to refresh this one. So now you can see that our CSS styling is working into our HTML content. So we have also saw how we can apply a CSS styling with the help of Webpack in a React application. So let's go to the VS Code, and first I'm just going to give some more font. Okay, here. So I'm going to increase the font size, and let's do again npx webpack, and then run our node server. Refresh this one. So this is all working. So this part is completed over here. Now next thing, I wanted to work with the images as well in this React application. So I'm going to add image below this heading. So in order to work with the image in a webpack, so we need to install two loader here. So let's install the loader first in order to work with the images. So I'm going to install those loader as a dev dependency only. So the loader will be HTML loader and file loader. Let's install this dependency first. So our dependency got installed. Let's go into the VS Code, and let's first go to this package.json file, and here you can see that we have installed this file loader and HTML loader. Now let's head over to the Webpack configuration file, and again I'm going to write a rule. So here I'm going to tell like Webpack to look after this extension. So I'm going to define the image extension here. So if you have any image with this extension, so it could be JPG or PNG or JPEG. So normally our image present with this extension. So let's use here $, and for this I'm going to use a loader here, a file loader, and let's format this one. And I'm going to have one more rules for HTML. So for HTML documents, so I'm going to have one more loader. And here I'm going to use loader, HTML loader. Okay, and I'm going to format this one. So let's save this Webpack configuration file, and in the root directory I'm going to create one folder here, asset. Okay, and I'm going to paste one image here inside this asset folder. So now you can see that I have added one image inside this asset folder. So I'm going to use this image file in my React component. So let's go to this test.js file, and I'm going to bring this image. Okay, so import Eiffel image. Okay, so image contain the Eiffel Tower, and I'm going to bring from this asset folder Eiffel.jpg. Let's see the file name. It is correct. Now I'm going to add the image below this heading. So I'm going to use image tag, and inside source I'm going to provide this Eiffel image, and let's give alternate as well. So it is Eiffel only, Eiffel Tower. Now let's save these changes, and let's open our command prompt. Let's clear this one. Let's run here npx webpack. So our webpack compiled successfully. So you can see that we didn't find any kind of issue after running webpack. Now you can verify this dist folder as well. So you can see that we got our image here. Okay, now I'm going to run my server, Express server. So node server.js. Now you can see that my server is running on 3000. So let's go into the browser. I'm gonna refresh this one. So now you can see that we are getting image, but it's not looking good at the moment. So what we can do here, so let's go into the VS Code first, and here we are not going to focus too much on styling part. So let's just give here simple break. I hope this will work. Let's do again npx webpack. Let's run again server. So server is running. Let's go into the browser. I'm going to refresh this one. So now you can see that we got this image below this heading, and I'm going to give one more break so that it looks good. Let's save this one. Let's kill the server. Let's run our webpack. Let's run our server. Let's go into the browser. So now it's looking little bit good. You can see that. So this part is completed over here, where we have learned how to add images in React using Webpack. Now next thing what I'm going to do in this application. So suppose I add content some over here. So let's give some break. Let's give one more break, and I'm going to add one more heading, simple heading like hello React. So let's save this file, and let's go into the browser, and if I refresh this one, so you won't see the changes reflected in our browser, because I have to run again my webpack, and after that I have to run my server again. Then you are going to see the latest changes. So this is not good whenever we are creating a React application. So I'm going to introduce hot model replacement in this application using Webpack. So let's head over to the VS Code first, and we need to install some packages here. So let's clear this one first, and I'm going to install two dependency. So first dependency will be like Webpack dev middleware, then Webpack hot middleware. So these two packages we have to install. So let's wait for the package installation. So our package got installed, and let's verify in our package.json. So you can see that we have installed this Webpack dev middleware and Webpack hot middleware. Now let's go to the server.js file, and here we have to do some adjustment in our server.js file. So here first I'm going to check like if process dot env node env, if you are not in production, then this code is going to execute. So whatever the code I'm going to write inside this if condition is going to execute only in development environment, and it should be in a string, not like this way. And inside this if condition I'm going to bring Webpack, which we have already installed. So let's bring the Webpack. Now I also need to bring my Webpack configuration file over here. So this file I need to bring. So require, and I need to bring my Webpack configuration file. After this, let's define a variable here, compiler, and here I'm going to use Webpack, and I'm going to pass here Webpack configuration. After this I'm going to use one middleware, so app.use, and I'm going to bring here directly that middleware, so app.use require, and here I'm going to use middleware Webpack dev middleware, and I'm going to pass this compiler. Okay, now after this I'm going to use another middleware, so app.use, and again I'm going to bring this one directly here, and this time I'm going to bring Webpack hot middleware, and then a compiler, again compiler, and inside that I'm going to specify a object. So we need to pass here a schema, so this schema we have to pass no info true, and we have to pass public path. So we have already Webpack configuration dot output dot public path. Okay, let's save this one, and we also need to do some adjustment in our Webpack configuration file. So here we have to adjust our entry point. Okay, so we can use here array, and I'm going to specify first entry point, and the first entry point will be Webpack hot middleware, okay, slash client. We also need to adjust in our plugin as well, so I'm going to create one new instance. Okay, so new Webpack. So we also need to bring Webpack here. So let's bring Webpack. Require Webpack, and here it will be Webpack dot hot module replacement plugin. So we have two instances in our plugin. Let's save this one. And after this, I wanted to go to this package.json file. And here, instead of running node server.js in our command prompt, so I'm gonna remove this one. Okay. And I'm going to add a script here. Okay. And let's remove this one. And inside that, it will be start. And I'm going to give here node server.js. Okay, so let's save this package.json file and let's open our command prompt and do like this way, npm start. Okay, so you can see that server is running on 3000. So let's go into the browser. Let's refresh this one. So we are not able to see our this latest changes, I guess. So in order to fix this problem, so let's go to the VS Code first. So before we proceed to fix that issue, you might have noticed some problem inside this text.js file. So we have used this h2 tag, and inside this h2 tag we are rendering our image and this content. So let's cut this one, and first let's paste it over here, and inside that I'm going to put this heading. Let's format this one. Let's save this one. After that, what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to kill the server first, and I need to install one package here. So npm install data save dev, so it will be installed as a dev dependency, and the package name will be clean webpack plugin. Okay, so this package we have to install as a dev dependency. So let's install this package first. So our package got installed. Let's verify here in our package.json file. So you can see that it's got installed. So let's go to our Webpack configuration file, and here I am going to bring that one. So from clean Webpack plugin, we need to bring clean Webpack plugin, and I'm going to add one more new instance inside this plugins array. So it will be new, and it will be clean Webpack plugin. Okay, let's save this file. So let's understand a little bit about clean Webpack plugin. So this clean Webpack plugin, it's basically is going to refresh and clean the distribution folder. So for that purpose, we are using this clean Webpack plugin. And after that, inside this HTML Webpack plugin, we have to provide chunks. And inside that, we have to specify app, because our JavaScript code, that is React code, is attached with this app. So we have to provide your app in this chunks. So let's save this one, and we have to also do some adjustment in our test.jsx file. So here I'm going to just check if module.hot, then module.hot.accept. Now let's save this file, and let's open command prompt, and I'm just going to kill this one first, and let's do npm start. So our server is running on 3000. So now let's go into the browser, and here you can see that we got some issue. So we are getting no such file or directory. So we can fix this problem. So let's go into the VS Code and let's go to our server.js file. So here, instead of joining the path, we can just remove this one. We can simply remove this one, and let's save this file, and let's remove this one as well. So let's save this file and restart our server. Let's do npm start. Now let's go into the browser. So now you can see that we got our image and this newly created heading hello react, and I wanted to move this two thing in middle. So let's go to the VS Code, and this way we will also verify whether hot reloading is working or not. So what I'm going to do over here, so let's go to the CSS file, and here I'm just going to specify h2, and let's give here text align center. After this, I'm going to add some styling for our image tag. So let's give here display block, and let's give width 50%. Let's give here margin left auto and margin right auto. Let's go into the browser. So now you can see that we got our image in middle, and we have to also test one more thing. Now let's modify our React component file as well in order to see the changes are getting reflected or not in our browser. So let's go into the VS Code. So I'm going to remove first one break from here. Okay, and I'm going to remove break from here as well. And I'm going to add one heading here, one more heading like hello Webpack and Babel. Okay, so let's save this file first and verify in our browser whether it's reflecting or not without refreshing our application. So now you can see that we got our heading here hello Webpack and Babel without refreshing our browser. So guys, hot reloading is also working in this React application with our Webpack configuration. So guys, we have completed the agenda of this video. So that's it guys from today's video. We have learned how to create React application from scratch with Webpack and Babel, and I hope you have really enjoyed today's video. And please do subscribe this channel and like the video as well if you really find out that this video is helpful. So I will see you in next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.